Hello and welcome back to Worm Watts, where we harness the God-given power of compost worms to transform organic waste into amazing living fertilizer. Now, in today's episode, we are going to be opening up this bin right here. And this is a continuation of our desire to build a bin that is fungally dominant. That means a bin that is largely, the decomposition within this bin is going to depend on fungi. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and open this up. We had put in one of the jute bags. One of the things you can see on the top of this, actually, it looks like that is a black soldier fly larva that has pupated. So I'm going to go ahead and actually just brush that into the bin. I don't mind if that's in there. And we went ahead and put a whole bunch of water in here, and you can see that we have some white growth there. So this is really nice. That's kind of what we were hoping for. Now, last time we were in here, we had some other interesting visitors with us. We had a skink, which is a type of lizard, a beautiful, vari-colored lizard that was in here. Hopefully it will make its way out because I don't want it to be eating our worms. And I imagine we have a number of other critters in here because this bin, this bag here, this jute bag was actually sitting outside where it was exposed to the elements. And so I imagine we are going to have a whole bunch of stuff in here. So as we get closer, we can actually see that we have what appear to be a large family of, hey, we have a pill bug right there in the middle, otherwise known as a roly-poly. And then all of the fast-moving ones, I believe those are actually sow bugs. So we have a lot of those decomposers in here. And as we take a look to the bottom of the bin, it looks like the water has really incorporated, which is really what we wanted it. We didn't want to have a whole bunch of standing water, so I'm happy to see that. And we can see the leaves. So that is looking really good. So what I'm going to need to do is to go ahead and add more leaves to kind of fill in those void spots, those gaps there. And then I will put some more water in so that those leaves can also get moistened and make this an ideal environment for the worms to be added to. So, but overall, I'm really happy with how this is coming out. You can see that the jute bag is breaking down. It actually broke and tore, if you will. And so, yeah, it's looking really good. So I'm going to go ahead and acquire some more leaves to put in the corners, and then I'll add some more water, and we'll leave it for another week to allow that to kind of settle in. All right, change of plans actually. So instead of filling in these voids and filling this entire bin up, what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to take the leaves out of this bag, if I can, and let them kind of settle into the bottom. Look at this, you can see an earwig there. We've got another, this is a pill bug, and the sow bugs are scattering very quickly. Right here, what is this? Looks like we might have an ant. Yep, we've got an ant right there. I'm gonna probably take that guy out. All right, so, all right, there we go. So we've gone ahead and let the leaves kind of fall out of the bag, and now this jute bag is kind of on top, kind of like it has been as a worm blanket in other bins. So, or as we've seen them used as worm blankets in other bins. So with that being the case, the leaves are now kind of nicely distributed down along the bottom. And what I can do now is just set this down over the top. And now I'm gonna go ahead and water it in again. So let's go ahead and get some water. I'm gonna get the jug that we used last time and just drench this really nicely with water. All right, so here we are. We've got our water. I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. All right, I think that's going to be good. All right, and it's thoroughly saturated the bag. And what I'm really looking forward to is it really incorporating into the leaves. The leaves don't really seem to hold water very well, and one of the ways that you can kind of improve that is actually by shredding the leaves. But in this case, they've been outside already, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave them the way they are and just run this over the top. So the leaves are in place. I'm not seeing the skink, which is rather interesting. I'm curious to see whether it'll pop out later. Looks like we got a spider in here. So there are a lot of different critters going to be in here. It's going to be interesting to manage this bin, just, you know, putting our hands in and just exploring as we usually would, considering that we have so many other critters in here. I'm hoping that as the moisture really sets in, that some of those creatures are going to find their way out because they don't like how moist it is. So hopefully that's what happens. But thank you for joining us as we continue to work through this bin. This is a bin that hopefully is going to be giving us some leaf mold 2.0, because it's going to be not just traditional leaf mold, which is leaves that are broken down over a long period of time through fungal decomposition, but hopefully it's going to be worked on by the worms as well. So that's going to make it really nice and really help with the microbial activity. So thanks for watching, and continue to join us as we look through this bin and as we get it ready to add the worms in.